Welcome back to our channel. Today, we are diving into a powerful topic that is sure to resonate with many of you. Why is inner pain so closely related to the evil within your heart? Many of us have experienced emotional pain, suffering, or dissatisfaction, even when we try our best to lead a good life. We may wonder, why does this inner pain seem to persist, even when we strive to be kind, honest, and loving? Today, we are going to explore the deep connection between inner pain and the negative emotions or evil-like tendencies that can lurk within us. By understanding this connection, we can begin to heal, grow, and find true peace within ourselves. Emotional pain is something we all experience. It can take many forms: grief from a loss, anxiety from uncertainty, frustration from unmet expectations, or a deep sense of dissatisfaction. Often, we try to deal with this pain by looking for external solutions. We might seek comfort in material possessions, distractions, or relationships, hoping these will bring us peace. However, despite our efforts, the pain seems to persist. What if the root cause of this emotional suffering is not external, but internal? What if the pain we feel is closely related to the evil or negative emotions within our own hearts? To begin understanding this connection, it's important to define what we mean by evil in this context. Evil, in this case, doesn't refer to the extreme acts of violence or malice that we commonly associate with the word. Instead, it refers to the negative emotions, such as anger, jealousy, hatred, pride, and fear, that reside within us and cloud our judgment. These emotions often lead us to make decisions or act in ways that are harmful, not only to others, but also to ourselves. When we harbor these emotions in our hearts, they create a deep sense of dissatisfaction, leading to the pain we feel on the inside. This connection between inner pain and negative emotions can be better understood through the Buddhist concept of the three poisons: greed, hatred, and ignorance. These poisons are seen as the root causes of suffering, and they manifest in different ways in our lives. Greed leads us to constantly seek more, whether it's more possessions, recognition, or pleasure. It's the desire for things we believe will bring us happiness, but which ultimately leave us feeling empty. Hatred is the emotion that arises when we hold on to grudges, resentment, and anger. It poisons our relationships, clouding our ability to experience peace and joy. Lastly, ignorance is the inability to see the true nature of reality, leading us to act out of delusion or misunderstanding. Together, these three poisons create a cycle of suffering that is difficult to break without self-awareness and conscious effort. When we examine the pain in our hearts, we often find that it's rooted in one or more of these poisons. For example, when we experience jealousy or envy, it's because we feel a lack of something that others have. This feeling of lack rises from our attachment to material success, status, or approval. The pain we experience is not because we've been wronged, but because we have become attached to an idea of how things should be. Similarly, when we hold on to anger or resentment, we are allowing hatred to take root in our hearts. This hatred not only harms the other person, but it also poisons our own well-being. The negative emotions we carry inside us build up and manifest as inner pain, making it difficult to find true peace or happiness. And so, what can we do to address this inner pain and break free from the cycle of suffering caused by these evil emotions? The first step is to recognize that the pain we feel is not something external that we need to fix or escape from. It is not caused by circumstances, but by the way we react to those circumstances. When we understand that the source of our pain is internal, we begin to take responsibility for our emotional state and recognize that we have the power to change it. This is the foundation of healing, taking responsibility for our inner world. The next step is to cultivate self-awareness. We must begin by observing our emotions without judgment. When we experience anger, jealousy, or fear, We often act on these emotions without taking the time to reflect on them. Instead, we react impulsively, leading to further suffering. By practicing mindfulness, we can learn to observe these negative emotions as they arise, without becoming identified with them. When we simply observe the emotions without judgment or attachment, we create space between ourselves and the emotion, allowing it to pass naturally. One powerful method for healing the pain caused by negative emotions is the practice of compassion. Compassion is the antidote to hatred, and it allows us to release our attachment to negative emotions. When we cultivate compassion, both for ourselves and for others, we begin to dissolve the barriers that keep us in pain. Compassion is not about feeling sorry for others, but about recognizing their suffering as interconnected with our own. When we develop compassion, we no longer view others as obstacles to our happiness, but as fellow beings who are struggling in their own ways. This shift in perspective brings healing to both our hearts and our relationships. Forgiveness is another essential practice in overcoming inner pain. Holding on to grudges and resentment is one of the most toxic forms of suffering we can experience. When we refuse to forgive, we allow the negative emotions associated with that hurt to fester and grow, creating more pain for ourselves. Forgiveness does not mean condoning harmful behavior, but it means releasing our attachment to the past and letting go of the need for retribution. When we forgive, we free ourselves from the hold that the negative emotions have over us, allowing us to heal and move forward. Another essential practice for healing inner pain is the cultivation of mindfulness and acceptance. In the face of suffering, we often try to resist or avoid it. However, resistance only strengthens the pain. Mindfulness allows us to accept our emotions as they are, without trying to change or suppress them. When we stop resisting, the pain begins to lose its power over us. Instead of reacting to our emotions with judgment or fear, we learn to simply be with them, acknowledging their presence and letting them pass naturally. Acceptance does not mean resigning ourselves to suffering, but recognizing that suffering is a natural part of life and can be transcended with awareness. Finally, we must learn to let go of the need to control everything. Many of our negative emotions rise from our attempts to control our environment, our relationships, and our circumstances. We want things to go according to our plans, and when they don't, we feel frustrated, anxious, or angry. When we release the need for control and embrace the uncertainty of life, we open ourselves up to true peace. Life is unpredictable, and trying to control everything only leads to more stress and suffering. By accepting the impermanence of life and letting go of our need to control, we allow ourselves to experience the freedom that comes from living in harmony with the flow of life. In conclusion, inner pain is often the result of the evil emotions within our hearts: greed, hatred, and ignorance. These negative emotions create a cycle of suffering that can only be broken through self-awareness, compassion, forgiveness, mindfulness, and acceptance. When we recognize that our pain is not caused by external circumstances, but by our reactions to those circumstances, we take the first step toward healing. By practicing these techniques, we can begin to release the negative emotions that keep us trapped in suffering and experience true peace and happiness. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that this discussion has helped you understand the deep connection between inner pain and the evil within our hearts, and that you now have some tools to begin healing and finding peace. Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to support the channel. Your support means a great deal to me, and I look forward to bringing more enriching content to you in the future.